Hey, this is Aditya from LightHaven. Today we are going to be going over some double stick work. A while ago I had shared a drill about double stick gunting. Today we are going to be doing the application for it and the two simplest entries from the gunting. And the reason why I've chosen these two entries is because these two entries sort of form the pathway into everything else that's going to be more complicated or more intricate that comes off of these two entries. Before we begin though, it would mean a lot if you would subscribe to the channel. At the end of the video, if you like what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add to the discussion, please leave that in the comments down below. If you have any requests for future videos or any questions, please also leave that in the comments down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. Our residential program is up and running, so if you want to come down to go out, live with us, train with us in person, check out the link I'm going to leave down below. So we're going to start with a really simple angle 1 broken strike drill. We can start being in this sort of square stance, and all we're going to be doing is angle 1 broken, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. From the shoulder back to the shoulder, from the shoulder back to the shoulder. So Neha's going to stand with her legs a little bit wider, and we're just going to go angle 1 to angle 1. Now we're just going to get comfortable with this drill, because this is how Neha's going to feed me. And this is what I'm going to base all of my guntings off of. So we're going to be using our open triangle footwork for most of it. So if Neha hits me with that hand, I'm going to be stepping to the outside. If Neha hits me with that hand, I'm going to be stepping to the outside. This is going to be when we start adding application in there. For now, we're just going to stay over here. And now what I'm going to be doing is, as Neha's feeding me, I'm going to be starting from here, closing, opening, closing, opening. One thing that a lot of people make mistakes about is that they go horizontal. You don't want to be horizontal. You want to be diagonal, if not vertical. And this top X. Let me just hold it for you. This top X. This is where I'm making contact with the stick. Not here, not here, and not here. What that means is, if we start the drill and Neha's just feeding me, we're going to start really slow. I'm going to do gunting, 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 gunting. Now as Neha's just going to hold it out for me really quickly. I'm closing this way, right? As you can see, I'm making contact with that top triangle. I'm not going to try and make contact over here, not over here, and I don't even know how you would make contact over here. I think that's suicidal. So as she's feeding me, I'm making contact. Now one thing to remember is that it's not enough to just make contact. I want to be cutting through, and as the other hand comes, cutting through. Closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, opening. I'm cutting through the whole time. That's very important. A lot of people just get stuck here. You want to think of cutting through, cutting through, cutting through with the closing, cutting through with the opening, cutting through with the closing, cutting through with the opening. Whoever is doing the gunting isn't going to be loading on their shoulder anymore, so don't go like this. Keep the sticks over here. Close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open. The other thing I want to keep in mind is that if Neha extends that hand, whichever hand is on the inside of Neha's shoulder, so that would be my right hand, needs to be on top, and the other hand, whichever is on the outside of her shoulders, should be on the bottom. This is going to be super important, because when I do my application for this, when Neha feeds me, this is looking to stop the stick, and this outside hand is going to be looking to hit that hand. So the application is not here. The application is a strike to the hand, and this is going to be deflecting or diffusing the oncoming attack. Similarly, when that hand comes, this hand is now on the inside of her shoulders. This is going to be looking to stop the hand. This hand, which is now on the outside of her shoulders, is going to be looking to hit that hand, right? Because I am opening from here. So if I want to switch the order around, which means I want to close first on that hand, then I need to have my left hand on top. So, and now if I want to open on the other hand comes on top. So my advice is, when you start with your right hand on top and intercept her right hand. So if you just freeze, you can see my right hand is on top, my left hand's on the bottom. When we open, my right hand's still on the top, my left hand's still on the bottom. When I want to switch this, I'm going to go fluid, or cutting through, cutting through, cutting through, cutting through. So we're going to slow down a lot now. When I want to switch, instead of going fluid, I'm going to go broken, and when that hand comes, then my other hand's going to come on top. So earlier, when I went broken, my right hand was on top. Now I'm going to go left hand on top, left hand on top, left hand on top, left hand on top. That way I'm getting to apply both this way and the other way, where I'm cutting and deflecting or diffusing with my right hand on top and with my left hand on top. So once you're comfortable with this basic pattern of closing, opening, closing, opening on both sides, then we can start working our applications in there a little bit. Now the application, like I showed earlier, is one hand is going to be making contact with that, the same way as we were doing the feeding drill. The same way, one hand is going to be making contact with that stick, the other hand is going to be making contact with the hand. Because the important thing to remember about double weapons, or especially in Pekiti and especially with double sticks or double sword, is that I want to maximize the kind of work that I can do. So if I use just one stick at a time, if I'm just using one stick at a time, this hand is more or less going to waste, right? I want to be using both sticks at the same time. One can be the shield, one can be the sword, one can be the shield, one can be the sword, and I can be attacking and defending, or counter-attacking and defending, or deflecting or diffusing and hitting back at the same time. That's one of the strengths of having double weapons, right? So I want to make sure that's the kind of stuff that I'm drilling, and this is where we begin drilling that principle in. So as she's hitting, now I'm going to be stepping out. So I want to be stepping outside her shoulders, right? I don't want to be stepping in here, because this can follow me and I'm closer to that hand. So as a principle, whenever we can, we want to be stepping to the outside of the shoulders. As I step outside, I'm going to be making contact with the stick and making contact with the hand. Later on it can be more along the fist, but right now I don't want to hurt my partner, so it can be somewhere a little bit more fleshy. One more time. Stepping this way, I'm going to step back, and as the other hand comes, same thing. I'm going to be making contact with that stick. I'm going to be going angle 2 to her angle 1, and this bottom hand is going to be hitting her hand. That's the first basic way of building our application. So I step out, I hit, I come back, I step out, I hit, step out, I close as I hit, I come back, I open as I hit. By close, I mean close my hands, as I open, this is what I mean. So I close as I hit, I open as I hit, right? That's from where that's our platform that we're going to use to build. So now, as she gives me that, I'm going to hit with this stick deflecting or diffusing. This stick is hitting. From here, what I'm going to be looking to do is take now a slightly bigger step. So I want to be getting to the outside. From here, this is going to literally slide up. I don't want it to cut through anymore. I want it to slide up. My left hand is controlling her weapon hand. It's keeping that in check. This hand is looking to strike, right? So one more time. I step, I hit. Now I'm going to exchange hands. My right hand is going to come down on her wrist. I'm going to take another step as my left hand shoots to her neck, straight across. Now I want my stick to be on her shoulder, because now I'm going to be using this to leverage her chin up, right? If it's here and it's going to slip off her shoulder, I want this firmly on her shoulder, because as I push down, it's going to lift her chin up. One more time. I do the gunting, strike that neck. I pull this back, I'm going to hit and exchange. From here, I'm going to lift this up. I'm just going to switch angles so you can see. I'm going to lift this up, pull the stick back, and strike that opening that I've made by lifting her neck up. Let's switch angles and try from the other side. So as she strikes me, stepping out, I hit that neck, I drop and I switch. This is also a strike as I'm hitting. Up, hit, switch. I want to pull that neck up, pull this back, and I'm going to be striking that opening that I've made over there. That's your first application, and that relies on her hitting me once. Now we're going to go over what happens if the other hand follows the first hand, right? Let's go back to our original positions. So if she gives me the 1, the reason why I'm following this up with the 2 is because if the other hand comes, this hand is there to intercept it. So one more time, that hand comes, boom, this hand is there to intercept it. This hand is going to strike under. I'm going to come back with a thrust to control this, push this away, and this hand is going to come and strike. One more time, I hit, that hand comes, I intercept, right? I hit, that hand comes, as I intercept I can hit here, or as that hand I cut on the inside. I can cut on the inside or the outside, that's really up to you. I'm going to come back with this thrust, there's also a disarm over here. but right now I'm going to come back with that thrust to move the hand away. I'm going to come back with that slash. From here I can then come back and have that sort of cross cut across the neck. It really depends, am I using a stick, am I using a sword, what it is that I'm using. So the reason we're focusing on these two applications is it gives me that basic entry as well, where I'm looking to deflect or diffuse or intercept this oncoming attack, hit at the same time and make my entry. And it also gives me the entry if she hits me 1 and 2, if both hands come into play, where I go bang, that hand comes, this hand comes to intercept, and then I'm hitting. It's from here that so many other offshoots on variations and options sort of break down. So we're just going to go over this one more time, but from the other side. The first one is she hits me, I'm stepping out. One really important thing to remember though is when she's hitting me, what I'm looking to do, even when this becomes sort of a more fluid strike, what I'm looking to basically do is I am looking to move that tip slightly back. As this flows through later, if it becomes a fluid strike, or even if it's a broken strike, if it's a broken strike, I'm looking to stop this and diffuse this by taking a lot of the power out of it. If it's a fluid strike, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to move that tip back just enough that as it's cutting through, it's missing me. If this is the angle that she wants to cut through, I want to be able to move that tip just back enough that as her hand is moving through, her sword is missing me. That's why I'm not looking necessarily to stop that. What I'm looking to do is go up, almost go up, right that stick up. It's like I'm flicking it up. So that's really important in this application. If I look to stop this, I'm going to get stuck. Or if I look to cut through, it's going to be a bit harder. So here what I want to do is I want to combine that cutting through motion, but I'm going to be cutting up. So I'm here, and that allows me to clear that stick. The other thing that I'm really counting on is my footwork, because if I screw this up, I'm going to get hit. So I want my footwork to get me offline, and I want this hand to make sure that it has this hand in check. The other thing that the other hand also does, by being across from here, I can also just slide this along to check the other hand. So now if the angle one comes, that hand is already there, right? While this hand can continue moving and move across. The first application is I hit and I step out, I hit the neck, I'm going to pull that back, switch, lift that neck up. I'm going to use this as a lever to lift that neck up, get a better angle, strike that neck that I've lifted up. The second application is when she feeds me the other angle one as well. I'm looking to hit and cut through at the same time. Again, you can be hitting the hand, you can be hitting on the inside, or when the hand comes, you can be hitting to the outside. That's where your disarm is. But from here, I'm going to be coming in with this thrust. Depending on where your footwork is, how far you are, you can be thrusting straight in as I move the stick away with this top hand. But for now, we're going to be thrusting this way to move that stick away. As I move that stick away, this hand's going to hit, it's going to cut through, and I'm going to come back with that sort of gunting cut across the neck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave that in the comments down below. If you have any requests for future videos or questions, please also leave that in the comments down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. Like I said earlier, our residential program is up and running again. So if you want to come to Goa, live with us, train with us, check out the link I'm going to leave down below. Thank you to Neha for assisting me. Thank you to you all for watching, and see you in the next video.